everybody's good. I'm going to get into just a couple things. I'm actually just going to open it for a Q&A today. I'm literally just going to open it right now and just talk. Want to see if anybody needs some help, something specific you're struggling with, going through, advice, feedback. And please don't be shy, especially y'all that aren't on camera. Feel free to open up, even if you're feeding babies or juggling kids or anything. That stuff don't bother me at all. So
I talked to you last March I talked to you last March at the conference. We was talking about scaling and building, which I started, and I put myself out there for hiring and stuff like that. And I just wanted to kind of guide and help, my team and myself, with onboarding, not onboarding, but hiring agents. I mean, the qualities that I know I've asked them the questions. You told me, are you coachable? Do you do what you say you're going to do? If not, do you communicate? So like I do it, what you told me, but I want to know like the top 5 things I need to just know so that I can take a chance or keep it moving. Like I'm not trying to waste time. I'm not, I'm just trying to be better. Like you.
Makes sense. What are some of the things? So for me, you know why I do those 3 things, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think?
Because if the agent, you tell them, okay, I'm going to send you a video, respond back to me by Sunday. If you don't hear back from by Sunday, your thing is you're not calling no more. That's it. They showed you who they were, and that was the bottom line.
Yeah. So
I know your style.
And yeah, of course. I mean, you've been around long enough, but it's like there's a little bit of a caveat to it, is that instead of me telling them to watch a video and call me back on Sunday, I ask if they can. Hey, if I get you this video, can you get it done by Sunday and then go through it and blah, blah, blah? Hey, can you get in class by tomorrow, by next week, by Tuesday? Because they have the option to say no to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ask them yes, no questions. So once I set those expectations, that's me. And I'm so transparent. You've been around long enough. I tell them I'm literally going to be testing them the entire time. Because if they aren't going to be coachable and do what they say they are, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So be careful on what you tell me you're going to do. And now I had to give people a little bit more grace. And that's why I added the 3rd one. I really only used to have 1 and 2. Be coachable and do what you say you're going to do. And I was out. But then I realized I was kind of being an asshole and I had to give people some leeway because life happens. So I'm like, so the 3rd one is, if you can't do what you said you will, communicate with me. But I can only handle so many 3s before I'm out. You know what I mean? Grandma can't have 9 funerals this year. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a setting expectation thing on what it takes to have me help you. Because if you're not coachable and you don't do what you say you're going to do, and I don't mean this sarcastically, I don't understand why the fuck you involve me. Does it make sense? Like, why do you call me if you're not going to listen anyway? If you're not coachable, why do you keep calling? I don't understand it. And I learned it's just a bitch. It's because people want to hear. They want to be a negative or complain or whine, or, you know what I mean? They need someone, because that's how life is. You call your girlfriend to bitch about your guy, or, you know what I mean? Like you call your buddy to bitch about your wife. That's just how humans are innately. So I don't want to be that sounding board. Now, you've been with me 3, 4, 5 years, couple of years, 6, you're doing everything you got to do. You need to vent. Yo, I'm your guy. Me and Kilmet used to vent to each other all the time because you need that. You need someone to be able to vent to sometimes and let off some steam. But week 1, week 2, month 1, month 2, hell no. You know what I mean? It's like, we're not there yet. So for me, then, Anika, everything from there is just asking questions that are intended to, 1, guide them towards where they need to go to achieve what they said they want to achieve. Does that make sense? Like, hey, do you want to start fast or slow? I want to start fast. Cool. Can you get in registered for the class today? Yes. Okay. Cool. Shoot me a text this evening when you get registered so I know you're in. If you don't shoot me the text, I'm going to assume you quit. Is that fair? Again, a yes, no. I've never had someone tell me no. They go, yeah. Does that make sense? Hey, do you think you can knock it? It's 20-hour course, whatever the hours are, 40 hours, whatever the number is. Like, my wife finished it in 5 days, and she wasn't even trying to get her license for anything other than to be the beneficiary if I die. And she got it in 5 days and has no interest in the business. I've seen people get it in 24 hours, finish the pre-license, not get their actual, not pass the test, but finish their pre-license.
Yeah.
The slow people take 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. So you said you're going to do it fast. Is there any reason you can't spend like 4 or 5 hours a night to get it in the next 5 days? Again, they have a choice. They tell me yes. I'm like, all right, cool. So make sure by what's today? Tuesday? I'd be like, can you finish it by this weekend? Yep. All right. Shoot me a text Saturday night. Let me know where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Again, if I need to add, if you don't, and so it's always like, I need them to do the course. They want to get paid. So let's knock it out. Does that make sense? Then they get done with course. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm trying to get people to schedule their exam too right away. Like their state test. Hey, if you're going to knock it out by Saturday, why don't you get in there and schedule your state test for next week? Because they don't always have times available. I know it might be stressful before you're done, but if you have it on the books, you're certainly going to study more. So can you go schedule it today? Yep. All right, cool. Shoot me a text with your time and date. I'm going to note it down. That way I can pay attention when you're taking it. And this is always walking them through. They're contracted. Any reason you can't do contracting today if we send it to you? No, I could knock it out. All right, cool. I'm going to have Amanda send it over to you. Shoot me an email when you got it done. That way I can give you the next steps. Yeah, but what about lead? What about this? Hey, step 1, dude. We don't got to worry about step 4 before you do step 1. I got you. One thing at a time. And I always tell people I can go as fast as you can. Yeah. So I'm going to let you dictate the pace. You cannot do this faster than I can give you the information. I promise you. So if you want more information, if you can consume more, if you want more training while you're doing things, if you want to study 4 hours a night and watch videos, you let me know. I'll give you more to consume. Now, I said I'm going to let you control the pace. If you go too slow, you understand I'm still hiring to build my agency. So I'm not going to like slow down to wait for you. So if you take 2 or 3 or 4 weeks to do this, and I mean this with all due respect, I'll probably forget your name and I won't be real excited when you text me in a month. Is that fair? You know what I mean? Now, if you tell me you want to go slow, I just want to do this part-time, I want to dink around once or twice a week, mess with some insurance, cool. I'm all about it. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad. So it's a combination of setting expectations and then just asking them questions that basically are the next steps they have to do. You know what I mean? We're getting ready to get on the phones. I'm like, hey, is there any reason you can't get on the phones tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday? I just pick a date that's fast. And I see what they say. Yeah, I got A, B, and C going on, my job. I got my kids on vacation. Cool. When can you get on the phones? Next Wednesday. Dope. That's our start day. Between now and then, I need you to be studying everything you need to study, phone script, get out of your head. So Wednesday morning, 8 a.m., you can be dialing the phone. Is that fair? We need to get leads ready. You got to do all that stuff. Cool. Can you do that? Yes. All right. Go here. I have a lead conversation. Go here, buy leads. I know the amount this is a longer conversation. I'm trying to kind of shorthand it, but I'm like, go here, buy the leads. When you buy the leads, shoot me a text. Let me know you got them. Cool. Hey, do you have the phone script? Yep. It's in the email, right? Yep, it is. All right. Go study it. Hey, do me a favor. After you study it for like a few hours, do a little recording. Send it to me. I'm going to listen to it. I'll give you a little feedback. It's just a test. I don't give a shit what it sounds like at all. Does that make sense? Okay. What am I looking for? I want to see if they're willing to get out of their comfort zone by recording themselves and sending me something. Why? Yeah. Because I know when they go live, they're not going to want to do it. I want to know now. And I learned all these things from not doing it and then getting frustrated 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 months, 6 months down the road and going, God damn, how did I miss that? You tell me they've been here for 3 months and they're too shy to record themselves and send it to me? You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of like virtual telesales today. I'd be like, hey, any reason you can't get on the Zoom and watch? No, I can. All right, cool. 8 can you be on there at 8 a.m.? Yep. All right, cool. I'll be looking out for you. I'll introduce you to all the people on the Zoom. Cool? Yep. First time there, I'm going to be like, hey, you know when it's time to dial, you're going to have to dial unmuted, live, in front of people. And that's how I'm going to help you get better. Yes. So if you're going to be uncomfortable with that, you should quit now. If you're willing to do it, just get yourself mentally ready because we're going to put you on the spot to get you better. Is that fair? Again, they say, no, I can be out. They say, yes, I'll challenge them. You know what I'm saying? So it's always I'm always thinking about the things I need them to do. And I'm always thinking about agents' natural tendencies to be scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm trying to overcome that shit early. No different than in sales. Clients are scared to pull the trigger on giving you a social and their routing and account number. So you're doing trial closes along the way to prevent you going an hour and 15 minutes and then finding out they're scared. Does that make sense? You're checking in along the way. Correct.
Front end. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same concept. I just got really good at it. And the way to get good at it, Anika, is think about any agent, maybe this week. Pick an agent you're frustrated with about whatever situation.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And go, how could I have figured this out sooner?
Yeah.
And then you implement that up front somewhere for every agent going forward.
I will. I'm changing a lot of stuff now.
And here's the thing, girl. You know the shitty part about this? It don't work every time with everyone.
I know it ain't guaranteed.
Nah, it doesn't mean it's going to make everyone an elite producer. But what it does every time is it gives me clarity. And all I want is clarity. I don't want everybody to be a top producer. I used to. I just know that's not reality.
No.
So I'm trying to like meander through and figure out who's going to do what they say they're going to do on a daily basis and a weekly basis, and who's going to punk out and when. Because as you know, you've been around me long enough, people punk out at very crazy, unexpected times. Think about how many 30, 40, 50K producers I helped get to that level that have quit.
And they left. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's how it works. People, they hit a ceiling. They can't handle things. Life gets in the way. They believe it. You know what I mean? Like shit happens. So I just try to do my best to understand that I have a mental energy tank. Killamet taught me this. There's like a tank. And there's only so much. You ever like just one day, fucking one thing happens and you snap? You just like, you had enough.
Yeah.
It's because your tank was empty. You know what I'm saying? And all the frustrations from this stuff along the way is what drains that. So I'm most trying to protect that so I can have more conversations with more people. So if I set better expectations, I ask really pointed questions, even if I know the answers. I mean, you've seen me toy with people who pretend they're working full time, and I ask questions and they walk themselves into, you know what I mean? They walk themselves into spikes.
The chamber of death. You kill them every time.
Yeah.
Never fails.
Because there's really intentional questions to skip the BS, and I get them to verbalize. If you can get other people verbalizing one and get other people processing, if I can get them thinking, dude, it's like magic. You know what I mean? Because then it's not me just telling people what to do. I'm like, hey, here's the path. Can you do this? No, I can't. No, I can't work that much. I can't buy that many leads. I can't do this. Cool. I need you to understand then something, Anika. This business is going to be inconsistent and suck forever if you can't do this much and buy this many leads. So I just have one rule. You can stay here. You can work part-time. You can dink around with it. I'm not mad. But I have one rule. You can never complain to me. Is that okay? Because I'm telling you now, it's going to suck often. But if you look at it at the end of the month or the quarter, you'll always make a few bucks. But you're never probably going to hit it big, and there's going to be a lot of frustrating weeks where you miss all your sales that week and leads are due and your bills are due. You just can't complain to me that week because I'm telling you it's coming. Is that fair? Then someone calls it, I think a Luffles a lot. Someone calls a bit. I'm like, yo, did you just call me to complain? I know you didn't mess that up. I know you didn't forget the rule. You chose this path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's always about a choice. What path do you want to go down? High-end activity, low-end activity. High-end activity means you get more leeway. I can tweak things. I can work on stuff. There's a lot I can do. Low-end activity, dude, I ain't that good and I'm not trying to be. You see 2, 3, 4, 5 people a week. I don't know how to make you good. I just don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? So it's a combination of setting expectations, asking questions that lead them down the path that I believe they need to go to achieve what they said they want to achieve. And then I'm testing them in all kinds of ways. And the more they pass each little step, the more I'm willing to give into them and work on them and give them my time and energy and mentorship and feedback and tweak things. Think about how many conversations we had. Remember, you used to be scared shit to even open your mouth. And I'm like, girl, you get in front of like 40 fucking kids in another country and talk about whatever. Like, what are you talking about? You're nervous. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to encourage you to get out of your own head during those times.
Yes.
But you were doing everything you said you do. You never came into it going, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to work 100 hours a week. I'm going to buy $1 million. That wasn't your deal. And I never gave a shit.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Because you were who you said you wanted to be.
I never complained to you. I never lied.
No.
Yeah.
So it was easy. That's why I've taken your call for, I don't know how many years it's been. 6,
10.
7, 5, 10? Nah, it ain't been that long. How long has it been for real?
No, for real, it's been 7 years.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say 10. I don't think I got anybody left from the beginning.
Because you no, 7 weeks. I'm the one. 7 me. I'm it. From the ground,
7.
from the mud, from nothing. Yeah.
It's 2017 you started?
Absolutely. You know that.
I don't remember what year. So you weren't, well, I was in the field once after that, but there's only a few people still here that saw me in the field. You know, I mean, most of them have quit. I was already out of the field by 17, except 19. I went back in for a hot minute when Facebook leads came out and people were bitching they didn't work. I don't know if you remember that. I went back in the field for a hot minute. Ew. I don't know if this water tastes like shit, Amanda, or if this cough drop is making it taste like trash. Oh my God, that was awful. No, it's the thing. So I'm getting sick and I take what are these? Zicam? Little cough drops. What's that other thing? What's that other thing up there, Amanda? This shit's like magic. Show them that. What is that called? This one? Oh yeah. That's this. What's the other thing I took? Oh yeah, little drops. Like, don't get sick. You're about to get sick. Pop. The things are like magic.
They work good. They work good.
Yeah, but they make my water taste like trash. Anyway, did that answer anything? Are you got any follow-ups or clarifying questions?
I hit a dead spot. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, they hit the nail on the head, John. Because
I see you over there.
We've been going through it over here, man. Me and Nika, we trying to do our thing, but yeah, people don't work like we work, you know.
Hey, here's what I always say, Rochelle, is like, if people were everything I wanted them to be, what the F would they need me for?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm grateful in the weirdest way ever that people are undisciplined, negative, trying to change. You know what I mean? Like, again, I needed that in my life one day too. And in some instances still do. You know what I mean? Different level, but I still, dude, I still struggle with stuff. And I can still look around and be like, most people don't work like I work. And I don't even need to do it necessarily. You know what I mean? Other than I want to achieve bigger things. But I could certainly dink around and make multiple 6 figures a year and not even like show up to the office ever. Much less 7, you know what I mean? 7 plus. But to make $500,000, I could literally just stay in bed all day, every day and be fine. But that's not my desire. You know what I mean? And so I'll tell you, the thought of like, we're going after it and we're not seeing the success we want from people, that never changes. It never goes away. Even though I have so many that are doing well, there's still an everyday frustration because I see potential in so many people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that part don't ever go away. And then some of it gets so easy, you feel like like if it were as easy as you want, like think about like Zach, right? Who Zach has become in my group. Dude, he don't need me. At this stage, I mean, he runs his own deal. Hell, I learned from him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and if all I was full of was that, you know how unfulfilled I'd be? Like everyone's doing everything perfect. I'm like, this would suck ass. And I probably wouldn't get paid anything. You know what I mean? So it's like embrace those challenges of it and work on yourself in a way where you control the frustration. I can have it in a certain setting. Amanda sees more of it than anybody on the planet. which sometimes I feel bad for, but she's the only one with like a true behind the scenes. She hears and sees everything. My internal thoughts, when I'm negative, when I'm she hears it all. But I don't let anybody else hear or see that stuff. Hardly. Sometimes I mess up, but for me, I'm trying to work on it in 99% of settings still to this day. There's just higher levels, it's just higher level shit to deal with. You know what I mean? More money, more problems. It ain't no joke. Certainly plenty go away in life, but it doesn't mean they're eliminated and you don't have stress. You know what I mean? So that what you're feeling, I don't know how to get rid of that. I just know how to use it as fuel. I've learned how to I learned that if I spend too much time with someone that isn't willing to change themselves, I learned that I'm losing time with other people that I don't see because I'm wasting time over here. That's what killed me the most. When I figured that out, you know what I mean? Like if you're giving me hell every day, I might never see someone like Nico over here. If I'm stuck trying to drag this dude, I never see Zach over here. So is this weird balance where you got to be willing to watch people. I say drown. Like if you jump in the ocean off a cruise ship, I'm not jumping in after you. There's zero fucking chance. You know what I mean? I'm like, don't jump from there. The boat's going this way. You'll be that way. There's sharks in there. Don't do it. And they do it. Damn. I'm going to sit there and I might even watch for a minute. You know what I mean? And not in a mean way, but I'm like, dude, you chose it. So I've had, and unfortunately that's happened with really close people to me, good friends, people that are close to me in life. And I've just had to literally watch them suffer in life and go broke and quote unquote drown in the business right next to me. Hell, y'all saw the office next door. How many people we have in the office next door at its peak in my fucking office? And ain't none of them. Think about Nika. You've seen the whole ride. Michelle, you've been around a long time. Think about how many people in the Atlanta office killed it. Where are they all today? It's no one big that I worked with long term. I had to watch so many of them fail and drown, and so many of them helped me build the business from the beginning. You know what I mean? They were there for the run and became friends with a lot of them. But as I kept growing, people hit a ceiling. I had to watch everyone over there drown, and you saw the office kind of fall apart because I just stopped. I stopped feeding it. I couldn't do it. It was exhausting. I was training the same 9 people in the office every week. I'm like, this is going nowhere. And I quit. I'm like, I can't do it. We're blowing up all over the country. It's weird as shit to me. The people in my mother effing office didn't copy what I was doing. Had the closest view of the entire ride, but didn't have what it took to get to the next level. And I took years to realize, like, I'm spending so much time with the wrong people, And when I stopped focusing on that, we blew up. And I feel bad because I like a lot of the people that were here. You know what I mean? But I'm like, they chose to jump off. They chose to move out. I didn't kick nobody out. You know what I mean? But I certainly just watched them. I certainly watched people switch teams because they thought that was the magic pill. I'm like, cool, here's your release. Where they at now? They ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn how to emotionally get through that. And that was hard, especially with the ones here, because I was tight with a lot of them, So it's wild. Who else has questions?
So, John, I don't know if you answered my question, but how do you deal with betrayal in the business, especially from someone that you knew personally?
Who's asking that? I can't see. Who was that?
Oh, here.
What's your name?
There you go, bro.
John Knight.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
All right, cool. Good. You're the one. I think you commented on. Were you commenting on the post the other day? Is that the same dude?
Yeah,
Maybe
man.
the book one? Yeah, cool. Dope. I'm sorry. What was the question? How do I deal with what?
Yeah. How do you handle betrayal, especially from someone you know?
Define betrayal for business.
Me. Yeah. Like it could be somebody that presented something to you and then it wasn't that way, but it actually you basically use your trust to get over on you.
Can you be specific, or you don't want to be? It's okay if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'll be specific. Somebody actually in the business gave me a bunch of people and actually was in your area. And turned out that those people work with him at another company, and
they sucked and he knew it.
Yeah, and I think he knew it. I didn't know it because I wasn't with these people, and I took him over because I trusted him because he comes from the same hometown, and it ended up it hurt
how much you get whacked for?
At $50K, but it might not seem like a lot to them, but in my situation, it freaking it hurt me pretty bad.
Hey, 50K is a lot of money for me right now. If I lost, I'd be pissed today.
Yeah.
You know, So for me, dude, the best thing I can do is here's what I always say to people. My biggest roll up was like 150K. All right. And that makes people shit. And I didn't love going through it. Mm-hmm. But I always say, I love that you understand my pointing and stuff. Thank you. I just need something else with a little different flavor. That water was like ass. Thank you. I always ask this. How long you been in the business?
14 years.
Okay. Are you open to share income?
Yeah.
How much you think you've made in 14 years, roughly? Ballpark.
Probably 18 through 20.
Rough idea.
24. 6. So probably 700K.
Okay.
Gross.
So here's what I would say. When did you start in the business? 2010?
2010.
Make it? Yeah.
Say it again.
So 2010. I was trying to guess the year.
Yeah. It took me till 2018 to hit 6 figures. So
cool. So what were you doing in 2010?
I was doing Aflac. Yeah.
Oh, so you were in the business before 2010?
Yeah. Well, no, I was.
No, what'd you do prior? Sorry, prior. What'd you do right prior? Yeah. Sorry, I worded that poorly. What'd you do right prior?
I did. I worked in a warehouse, and I was in the call center. Yeah. With
no shit. You know, I did both of those, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what were you making at that time on a job warehouse? Under 50K, I assume.
Oh, actually, the highest I made was like 40. Perfect. 40, something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
So same. So if I ask the 2009 John, who's making 40K a year, hey, bro, in the next 14 years, you can make 700 grand, but I need you to get whacked for 50 in the middle. Will you be okay with that?
Yeah, I am.
Amen, bro.
Dude. I see why you are where you are. Perspective.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have begged for me to whack you for 50 grand.
That's right.
Does that make sense? So I have to look at it that way. And I go, how much have I made? And I've made 8 figures in this business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm like, would I trade 150? And I've had more. I've probably total roll-ups. I don't know. What do you think, Amanda? 400, 500, 500? Somewhere in that range, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. $500,000 total roll-ups in my career. I'm like,
to get to 8 figures. Wow.
Yeah. And yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, I would trade that all day long, even if it was only exactly 10 million. And it's more. It's not, it ain't been 90 million. I ain't there yet, but it's definitely over 10.
That's all right. All right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I would trade that all day long at that time. So I try to keep myself in that mindset. And then for me, it became one of the most valuable learning lessons in business. Because what happened with me in mine, especially the big one that was 150K, and I can think 3 or 4 of those other assholes are coming to mind, Amanda. Like there were times where like Amanda would be like, "Don't trust him. He's a crook." And I'd be like, I mean, he told me he does it at his church and he just had a thing with his family and blah, blah. And I would reason and I would listen to the crooks' excuses and I would believe them. And I learned crooks tell really good stories. They're really good. Crooks are really good, dude. You know what I mean? They're really manipulative. They're really believable. They build trust really easy. They are good at that. But I don't know if you felt this, but I can look back and go, I felt a little something, but I didn't go with my gut. I just didn't go with my gut.
That's right.
I let
That's right.
their words manipulate my gut.
You're right.
And I went from that
Action
point
points to
forward.
that
I'm like,
place.
I'm going with my gut. From now, I'm going with my gut from now on. If my gut says I shouldn't hire this dude, I'm out. If my gut says I should fire this guy, I fire him. I just go with my gut now, you know? And it taught me to watch my business and catch it sooner. No offense, to let 50 G's hit you. You and I both know you missed a lot of shit along the way.
Yeah.
It don't get to 50 without you missing stuff and going like this. I don't see
Yep.
that. I don't see the 9 policies written for the same premium in one day that they never do. I don't see the 17 policies this month all written for the max premium allowed or the max face amount allowed. You know what I mean? Like, oh, weird. They got dead at carrier A. Now all of a sudden they've written 9 policy with the carrier B that they never use. I don't see it. You know what I mean? Like, so there's lessons that you're taught along the way that taught me to watch my business stupid close. So when I bring on someone new, dude, I see their commissions before they see them. I see their pending and approved policies and issue policy. I'm watching them all, dude. And although crooks are really good with their words, they do really dumb shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we had one dude that submitted literally, dude, you go like, I'll give you an example. Americo, one of their products was they had a cashback. They had a 15-year, 20-year, and a 25-year cashback.
Yep.
Literally no one writes the 15-year cashback. Why? Because it's expensive as fuck. Dude, we had one guy write 5 of them in one day. I'm like, I haven't written one in my career. I called America. I'm like, cut those policies off, terminate them. I didn't even call the guy. Why? I don't want the story. I don't care. You don't write 5 15-year cashbacks in one day for the full face amount. It don't happen. We had one other one. It was an agent who missed it, and they were bitching about A, B, and C. And I'm like, dude, look at your pending. They wrote, you remember that one, Amanda, where they wrote Moo? They wrote like 9 policies. Every single one of them was the same premium, monthly premium. It was like $125 every single one of them, which meant the face amount on every client changed. Everyone picked exactly $125 a month in the same day. Stop it. You know what I mean? They always do really silly stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now in today's world, the carriers have a lot more tech to catch a lot of that stuff. But I don't trust people. I'll give them a little bit of a leash, but I go into it with, I need to watch this. It's on me. If I let a roll up happen, that's my fault. I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So it taught me an insanely valuable lesson. And I haven't had, when was that one, Amanda? That was Hong or whatever his name was. Samuel, was that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't forget that shit. That was what, 2016? Probably 17, 18, something like that. It was after you got here. So it was probably 18.
Yeah, it was probably 18.
Before we moved here.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, we ain't had one like that since. Now for me, $2 grand, $3 grand, $5 grand, $8 grand, $10 grand, dude, cost of doing business. I don't give a shit at all. I try to prevent it, but if I miss it, dude, I'm not spending 30 grand in mental energy to worry about 5 G's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I write it off. It's a loss. It's a tax write-off. I just move on. It's, you know what I mean? It's just, it's like Walmart dumps a truck on the interstate. They don't love to do it, but bro, they move on. You know what I mean? It's just part of business.
Yep.
So
I appreciate you.
You got it, brother. Who else got questions?
Hey, John, what's happening? I got some.
Who's that? Let me see.
John Slawinski.
Let me see where the hell you're at.
Hold on.
Are you on video?
Sorry.
I'm on video.
Yeah,
it doesn't show my screen if you're not on video. There you go. John.
What's happening?
Oh, is that your last name? Oh, I see. I was like, that's a long first name because it shows that as your first name and your last name.
No, it's both.
It says John Slawinski.
Nope, that's doubled.
Yep, I see it. Cool.
So I just had some questions, man. I've been following your stuff for a while now, about a year and a half probably. And I'm new to insurance as of 2 years ago. Okay. So I was medical field my whole life, doctor of PT for 14 years, and I do Medicare now. So I left that completely to do insurance full time.
Yeah.
And I love it. absolutely love it, but I'm just trying to grow. Trying to learn as much as I can because the insurance part of it is obviously new to me. The medical and the plan stuff and dealing with clients I love. I'm cool with it.
Yep.
But I'm in the process of this week probably leaving a company that I went to work for and grow their Medicare business because they just weren't invested. They told me one thing and wanted to renegotiate my salary 3 times over a year and wouldn't invest. And it was just
so you like W-2 in the business?
No, I'm a 1099, but with the way Medicare works, all my stuff has to go through the agency.
Huh?
So it's been kind of a
salary,
nightmare.
what do you mean? Why do you say salary? I'm getting at that.
So I'm only commission. Like they only pay me when I sell policies. Yeah.
I get that. Why'd you say that? I thought I heard you say they were renegotiating your salary. Did I misunderstand?
Well, they're trying to, salary was probably the wrong word, trying to renegotiate my commissions with stuff.
Makes sense.
So like,
cool.
I basically tried to explain to them, hey, we need to do seminars. We need to buy leads to get people in the room so I can set appointments and actually meet with them. That's how you grow the business. That's how I make money.
Yeah.
And they're like, well,
how do they want you to do it?
For it? They're like, well, who's going to pay for it? And I'm like, well, it's your agency. What do you mean who's going to pay for it?
How do they want you to do business?
Well, originally, like the first class, I just got tired of not having enough activity.
No, I get that. But you want to do seminars and
I'll
leads.
Pay you. Correct.
What do they want you to do?
And obviously like grassroots stuff too. Well, they didn't want to invest anything. They wanted 100% of their money back first from the seminar. And I'm like, I'm going to spend 3 months and not get paid. I can't do that. That's crazy.
Okay.
So there's been a couple things that have happened and I'm
good.
I'm going to go back out on my own because I'm babysitting adults and I don't need it.
Yep. Makes sense.
Like I've got enough work.
So just around
because I have the office.
Yeah. All good.
Yeah. And the office was an hour and a half from where I live too. And I'm like, I'm busy back home. I don't need to take time away from producing to come out here and convince them to invest in their business. It was just crazy.
Okay.
So I guess my question is like, what advice would you have for somebody just starting out trying to grow their own business that hasn't done insurance their whole life? Is there any things that I should be focused on?
Do you know who you're kind of affiliating with next? Do you already have that on the radar? Or are you trying to figure that out?
I still have my upline from before because their agency was under the same upline. So that won't change.
So you're staying where you're at. You just want to do your own
thing. Being an independent.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
But
I want to
you get the comp you want that way?
I'm tired of growing for other people.
But you get the comp you want that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll basically keep at 100% and own the book. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there someone there that can help you still mentor you, teach you things? Like, do you have that person? It sounds like
there is, but I feel like there's,
can you cultivate that relationship? Meaning not to be a dick, but have you earned that mentorship yet from that person?
Probably halfway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I could do more. And that's why I'm on here is to try and figure out the insurance part. Cause like the whole buying leads thing is new to me and like trying to get in front of enough people. Like I can do it grassroots, but it takes forever. You know how much work it is to try and get in front of people.
Yeah. So the reason I asked that is like, I couldn't have done this business without mentors. There's no way I could have done this on my own, and I still like, I pay Patrick Bet David fucking like $100,000 a year to learn from him today. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of learning from people ahead of me, but I always want to do my best to add value somehow, some way, especially in a setting where now Bet David's a little different example. I pay him, he helps me. That adds value by default. And certainly I'll try to stand out relative to others best I can by doing the things I say, giving him feedback when he gives me advice, keeping him updated on progress, things like that. But in your situation, when I was in that spot, dude, the best way you can do that is like listen to your upline, because they shouldn't be a mentor or your upline to you if they haven't done what you're trying to do, in my opinion. So I'd make sure that our vision aligns. So now the person who hired me was not that person, nor was his upline or his upline. I had to go top. But to get to top, dude, I had to earn that shit. I had to show up to meetings early. I had to be in the office. I was cleaning up fucking the mess that agents made in the office. I'd wipe off the whiteboard. I'd ask him if I can help with it. You know what I mean? I was doing everything I could to add value to his world, knowing that in turn, he would do the same for me. One, he got paid on it when I sold. So that was some of it. But dude, with time, We became literally business partners, not in insurance, but in other areas, legit on paper business partners. And in insurance, we ran together like we were partners, but everything was still separate. And we found we were very good at different things, but I had to earn that level of, and I can't get 100% if I'm giving 50. Even if I sucked, I was going to give more to him, dumb shit, dude, at the beginning, because I didn't add a lot of value. He was already making 6 figures. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I found little things that I could do, and I would just pay attention. And again, you mentioned there's an office. Dude, having an office is a pain in the ass. There's a lot of stuff in that office they don't want to do. I promise you. Putting out flyers, writing shit down that they're going to train on, organizing the chairs, like dumb shit, dude. So I would just stand out relative to earn mentorship. I'm a big fan of earning it. Okay. You know, I would ask questions like crazy for advice. I'm very open to asking what people think, especially people further ahead than me, what they believe I'm doing incorrectly that's holding me back. It's one of my favorite questions to ask people. Now you got to be willing to take it, because you get punched in the mouth sometimes with that question.
Yeah. No, I'm cool with that.
You know what
I
mean?
love feedback.
So I was always asking that, and then I implement now. I don't implement in 2 weeks, 3. I implement now. Like, and now,
I think that's where my struggle, I think, comes in. Is there's like product knowledge I'm good on. Like, I love meeting with clients. My close rate is really, really good. I'm averaging like almost 2 policies a client for just Medicare only. So like the numbers are good. I think the stuff that is tough for me is like knowing the insurance business part and just like how to structure an insurance business.
You've said that like 3 or 4 times. Dude, like, structured insurance business ain't that deep.
Well, I think it's almost like when I got in, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's like a secret, and it's like nobody wants to tell me upline stuff, and like I'm craving more mentorship.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think
give me an example what you think is complicated.
If I'm
about structure.
Like I've talked to people, and like it seems like every training we have, they're like, well, everybody has their own way of doing it. I'm like, well, that's cool, but like, how about giving, like, you're an FMO? How about you give some like physical steps that I need to take because I'm new?
You running an FMO is very different than you building an agency underneath one. Those are 2 totally different.
I'm talking from the FMO, like asking for advice, like as a starting agent. Okay, like what should I be doing to grow?
And they just say no, they won't answer you.
Well, a lot of times it's like, well, everyone's different, and go try a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, well, try a bunch of stuff for how long? Like, what does that mean?
Who do you have? Who do you have that's actually built an agency under that FMO that you can talk to? Like, give me a name.
There's a guy, Dave. He owns his own agency.
Yeah. Do you talk to Dave?
I do, yeah. But I feel like I get feedback occasionally, but it's like a week delayed, and it's almost like, when somebody like feels kind of bothered when you ask them stuff.
Yeah,
I get that feeling occasionally, and I'm not stupid.
Dave? Yeah. There's a combination. I don't know everything. So again, I'm always going to look myself in the eye and go, am I causing that?
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Like, again,
100%.
I just, there's got to be something, or he's just a total asshole, but you don't build an agency being a total asshole.
True.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's got to be something there, dude, where again, I'm looking at it and going, maybe I don't add enough value. Maybe I'm stubborn in a certain way. Maybe I'm not showing up. And dude, I'm wide open enough to go like, hey, dude, I love what you're doing. I feel like maybe there's some disconnect. I've probably messed up here somehow. I really want to fucking learn what you're doing. What do I have to do to get more time with you? I'll do anything, bro. Whatever it takes. I'd be open.
I think that's my frustration, is I've even asked them like, hey, can I do like even just a weekly call of like, here's what the week's going to look like. What do you got on the book?
He says
this
no.
is what I think you should focus on. And it's always kind of like, I get this half-ass answer, and then nothing ever happens on their end.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'd find someone else.
Just frustrating. I'm like, I'm here to learn.
Yeah. If you're giving me 100% like accuracy from your end, if you're doing everything it takes, if it's me, that ain't my guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just not. Yeah. I had that again. Upline, his upline. Those 3 weren't my guy. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I'd go.
It does, yeah.
I'd go here, but dude, I'm telling you, I would definitely find someone else. And dude, it doesn't even have to be someone in your world necessarily. You know what I mean?
That's why I started following your stuff. partly is just to get
like,
some,
again,
some
bro,
info,
I pay Patrick Bet-David to coach me. He's at literally a fucking competitor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like a different level. You know how many people I coach at different companies?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Makes
so maybe
sense,
maybe that's a thing there. You know what I mean? We're starting to offer it as not saying it's a fit here for you, but maybe it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like whether it's me or someone else that maybe you pay for coaching through someone. You know what I'm saying? That could be an option too. Because, dude, quote unquote, building an agency, especially under the umbrella of an IMO or an FMO, it's no fucking work. It's not. There's nothing complicated because you don't.
I think that's why I'm frustrated too.
You don't have to do carrier relationships. You don't have to build products. You don't have to build CRMs. You don't have to do any of the shit. Yeah. You just have to have a fucking LLC at some point, and you get to choose to hire staff. You get to choose to buy your own office if you want. Rent an office. You can buy 9 offices. You can hire 42 staff. You can invest $100,000 a day in leads if you want. You can hire other agents. You can put the comp where you want. I mean, like, you get to control those pieces. That part is really simple. Again, I find it weird that someone who has a financial interest in you isn't helping. So,
and I think that's where I'm like, if I do better, you make more money.
Yeah. Like, so to me, that's just the wrong guy. And that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
One of y'all was the wrong guy. Like, either he's the wrong guy for you or you're the wrong guy for him or both. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And again, if you think there's something,
have that,
I would again, I don't know enough.
Just be to have that conversation.
I would. Yeah, I would. I'd be like, dude, I really respect you. I really want your. I wouldn't go like, you're a dick and don't help me. I wouldn't go down that road. I'd fall.
I'm not that guy.
You know what I mean? I'm like shorthanding it. I wouldn't even navigate that he's the problem. I'd fall on the sword completely, dude. I'd be like, yo, bro, I love what you're doing. Can we have I'll do anything for a 20-minute conversation with you. 10-minute conversation with you. Get in and I'd do it face to face, bro. I wouldn't do over the phone. Phone conversations are weird as shit. So I'd go to Egypt to have a conversation with someone to help my career. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, yo, man, I really want to kill it in this business. I respect what you're doing. I know you're busy. I've probably messed up, probably haven't done A, B, and C to get more time with you, dude. Can you give me the steps that would say to you, I'm all in? What would it take for me to convince you I'm all in? You know what I'm saying? And it's going to take time, dude. It's going to take repetition. It's going to take consistency. That doesn't happen overnight. You got to be willing to build a relationship and cultivate things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. That helps. Yeah, because I part of me, I think, wants them to be the guy that can give me that stuff. But
have you done it for others?
And I'm not stupid. I mean, I know if I'm selling 200 policies a year, I'm going to get more time with them because it's making them money.
100%. You know. So, now again,
there's stuff I definitely got to do on my side for sure.
Has he given you time ever? And you just didn't?
Yeah, but it's sporadic. I think part of the problem from looking at it too is they've grown a lot. And they've got one guy doing all their education, all their training, plus he's running stuff at the office and doing appointments. So I think part of it is a staffing issue on their side. I mean, they're thin.
Yeah.
Which I get.
Yeah.
But I also
it's funny. I've also had a lot of people I'll tell you, I'll be really transparent, dude. You know how many people have told me over the years that I'm a dick and don't give them time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in my eyes, I'm like, yo, I asked you to do A, B, and C and you didn't, bro. I can't like. And you know how many times people have gone like, all right, this is the time. I'm ready this time. It's Monday. I'm getting after it Monday. A new me. I mean, I'm like, yo, after 3 or 4 of those, dude, I'll be honest. I just don't believe you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it takes more to come back from a previous attempt at it and not working. You got to dig yourself out of it. You might. I don't know your situation. I'm just talking very vague. You might have to dig yourself out of a different hole. If you've been an underperformer and not someone who's coachable and not someone that shows up and not someone, you might have to dig a little different. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out what about myself in your situation is causing that. And again, not saying it can't be that dude, but if he's doing it with others, you know what I mean? Again, maybe you could add value where he needs staff. Dude, maybe you hire staff and you help with something. I did it. My dude didn't have a lot of staff. I hired Amanda. I'm like, yo, Amanda she'll learn from your staff and we'll do these things for the whole agency. Meaning early on, I'll give you an exact example. Killamet was really good with people. He was really good with communicating. He was really good at teaching me patience. He sucked ass with anything technology whatsoever. Like he's terrible with it. All right. And this is the dude who was at the top for me. I don't know if anybody knows him, but he was 4 up from me. And I'm a nerd. I'm an Excel geek. I love numbers. I love analyzing things. It's who I am. And when he had maybe, dude, I've been with him since he had like, and he's since retired, but he had 10 agents, 15 agents max when I started with him. And we had no way, there was no numbers. There was no issue paid numbers. No one was doing it. And I'm like, yo, I'll run them. I ran Mike Killamet's team issue paid numbers from 2013. I could go back to maybe even 2012, but definitely 2013. I still have them on my laptop. From 2013 to when he retired last year, John Wetmore ran his agency's numbers. That added a fuck ton of value to his world. He didn't have to hire staff for it. And I could have gone, he's too busy to run it. He's got a lot going on. He doesn't have the staff to do it. So I took it on. And when Amanda came on board, that was one of her first jobs. Every Friday by 10 a.m., I better have all the numbers. And it included Mike's. I mean, it's just one of the many things I did to add value to his world. And I eventually became like, where we were like, it was like Mike and me. And then I slowly earned my way up to be like, it was right there, dude. We were side by side after a while, but that took years. It took years to build that, you know? But again, new kid, accountant, no business doing it. I figured out how to go to the carriers and run issue paid. And I'm like, yo, I figured this out. Check out this report. Hey, can I do it for you? All I need is your login. He was like, sure, you crazy fucker. And he let me do it. You know what I mean? And I just kept doing things like that over the years. And it just built a lot of trust and respect. And, you know, I did my best. If I could help his agency be more profitable, be more active, grow more, be more productive to agents, be smooth. If I could help his agency, I knew it was going to help me. So my goal was never really my agency, dude. It was, but it really wasn't. If mine doesn't add value to the mothership, like I'm doing with Integrity today, we had 3 calls this week with Integrity Corporate on stuff we're trying to do for them that I don't have to do, like at all. But I'm trying to add value to the mothership. Why? Bro, that ain't that deep. It's not that deep. Why? But I know most people aren't willing to do it. So we're doing stuff that we do not have to do just to add value. And you know what I mean? And it stands out and people see it and they're talking about us. And you know what I mean? They're asking us our opinion and how do you do this? And they're asking us recruiting stuff and they're asking us stuff about the way payments. It's just they're seeking guidance from us now. I'm like, yo, this is sick. I'm trying to continue that over the next few years. You know? Make sense?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Cool. Dig it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
You got it. I got time for, what do I got? One more, Amanda, I can do? I think, what time do I got to leave? Like 11:15? Time I got to bounce?
11:30. You're good.
Oh, okay, cool. If y'all haven't seen, I'm going to self-promote. Book comes out Thursday, midnight, technically, like Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Thursday midnight. Live. You can pre-order it now. It's on the website. We sent out, like 20 signed ones yesterday. But official will be on Amazon Thursday when you wake up. Little journey, everything I've done to, hell, I talk about a lot of stuff. Family stuff, childhood, the shit show, disaster, mistakes I've made, lots of them, all the training, things I've done to change, things I've done to train all the agencies. So if y'all want to support it, appreciate it. We made it cheap as shit, so about anybody can buy it. And again, if you're at 8%, we'll have them out there live signing them as well. So the fun little journey. I read a lot of books. It's kind of cool having your own. It's pretty cool fucking thing to do. But any other questions? Anybody got anything I can help with specifically?
I got a question, John.
Who was that?
Alante.
Alante. I see you, bro. Yep, I got you.
Quick question, John.
You bought a book, didn't you?
I bought a book, number 8.
It's going out today.
Yeah, I'm
It's going
excited.
in the mail today, ain't it, Amanda? It's going out today?
Say that again.
His book going out today?
You talking about? Hold on.
Oh, you got it right there? I will give you a little preview.
There we go.
Yeah.
Special
It's
exclusive.
in here somewhere. I promise.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah. What's good, dude?
So I'm a trucking insurance agency owner. I've been in trucking insurance about, I want to say 1.5 years. Prior to that, I was a trucking fleet owner. Prior to that, I was truck driver. So I'm just looking to add a product to what I already sell. I want to throw some icing on the cake. I understand insurance is about products and what do I get plus this, right? Yeah. So from someone who's brand new in life insurance. I'm new. I'm technically new in insurance. Period.
How long you been doing trucking insurance?
I've been doing trucking
like a year and a half. You said
a year and a half.
Okay, cool.
I make about net about 12,000 a month.
Okay.
Yeah, good. About 12 grand a month. I'm looking to scale it. I feel like there's a great margin for growth right now. Our industry's in a little bit of a slump, but amongst our community of truckers, I have a great amount of trust and like leeway. I mean, just by me being a fleet owner.
Hey, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I want to make sure I heard something. What'd you say is in a slump? What's in a slump?
The trucking community.
In what way?
The industry right now just took a big hit over the several years, whether it was just fuel, low freight demand, high parts. I mean, just right after COVID, we took a big smack in the mouth.
Bro, I see 14 million tractor trailers out every time I hit the road.
Yeah, I mean, they're still out there, but it used to be more owner ops.
Yeah, got it. I see. I follow. Okay, more owner ops than before. So bigger companies doing it now. Like buying people out,
they consolidate.
Makes sense. Okay,
and that's kind of when in the industry there's a crunch. The big guy swallows the small guy up.
Yeah, that's everything. You know?
Yeah.
Cool.
But what product would you suggest? Just the icing on the cake.
Dude, you know how many truckers I've written life insurance on, bro? Truckers. I mean, if you know truckers, I probably don't even have to explain to you what a trucker's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how many wives I've sat with that don't see their husband but once a month or once a quarter or whatever it is because they're out on the road, the long haulers. You know what I mean? Like those cats, and I don't know truckers like you know truckers, but through the eyes of wives that I sat with, they're stubborn as shit. They don't like people. They don't really want to talk insurance. They don't want to talk about dying. You know what I mean? Like they don't, that ain't their jam, dude.
Yeah.
So you being able to speak their language, bro, it's a gold mine. And you have access to truckers. Do you have access to trucker data, I assume?
Yes, through several methods as well.
Yeah. Do you know Joe
I've even
Campert?
developed a product off them, but that's another story.
Do you know Joe Campert?
I know Joe. Me and Joe are but I follow Joe. I follow you off of Joe.
Oh, cool. Dope.
Yeah,
I was going to say, if you don't know him, you should trucking. He wasn't a trucker, but he's big in trucking insurance. He's big in trucking. Are you in all like the Facebook groups he's in? The trucking Facebook groups he's in?
Joe's helped me out several ways. We're Facebook friends. Yeah.
Yeah. You should become real friends with him. Joe's one of the nicest fucking humans on the planet.
Oh yeah.
And he'll share all the sauce, dude.
He's absolutely. And help you out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And he does a little bit of life through our agency. So he has contracts with us. They obviously focus mainly on the PNC and trucking stuff, but great dude. So I would definitely continue to learn more from him about trucking. I know he has a lot of data on truckers. Like he has access to data out the wazoo where you could market to them directly. But if you're in that community, dude, I'm sure you know where truckers meet, where they do communities online, maybe communities in person, maybe they have meetup. You know what I mean? There's got to be a way for you to break into that, given you know it, and speak to them about the importance of it. You know what I mean? And not only from a standpoint of generic life insurance, dude, I don't think anyone's confused that like almost every trucker is not in the best health of all.
For sure.
Do you know how many of those ancillary benefits, dude, that would protect them in the sense of heart attack, cancer, stroke, injuries, things like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'd be looking at that angle for sure. I mean, life insurance with its benefits are a home run for those. And many of them just rely on the damn shitty ass big company work insurance. Yeah. Which ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't know whether, I don't even know in regards to like what products final expense has within them to kind of benefit them or get them locked in even more. I mean, I have no issue. Honestly, they taught me like I'm the therapist. That's not the issue. The issue is the product.
I mean, the products, I'm going to teach you product, everything you need to know about it.
Okay.
Ready? If they die, their spouse gets a check.
Okay. Okay.
If they have a heart attack, cancer, stroke, something like that, and you have a living benefit with it, they get a check.
Okay.
All final expense means is it's a small policy that's going to pay and it's meant to cover funeral.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But a lot of truckers can qualify for a bigger term policy for sure. For sure, dude. You don't have to just go on the final expense, let me bury you world.
Yeah.
There's way more living benefits with a term type policy than there are in a final expense world.
Okay.
You know, and and in today's world, dude, the only thing that's quote unquote hard about life insurance is the understanding the underwriting part of it. But there's technology for all that today.
Yeah.
So if you understand what it does, the eligibility part takes care of itself. A lot of the carriers are instant decision underwriting. They look up their script history and medical history right on the spot and give them approval. You know what I mean? You can certainly final expense makes sense sometimes, but most truckers I've written in my career are definitely more of a term UL, like an IUL type thing, talking to them about retirement possibilities. If they're some truckers got some money. Dude, I know some truckers with some money.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially them owner operators.
For
Dude,
sure.
they got 2 or 3 or 4 trucks, bro. They print money.
Yes.
You know, so you start
I had 8 trucks at one point.
Yeah, I mean, there's fucking good money in that.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Some of my biggest policies ever were those cats that had a few handful of trucks or whatever. You know, and now you start talking about IUL world gets a little more complicated, kinda, but it's really not even that deep. You know, and that allows them to have the insurance, living benefits, and build future tax-free cash. You know what I'm saying? There's a gold mine there, and the healthier side of truckers and the business-minded truckers is a massive opportunity there for you. So I would hit on that a lot. And just being real, dude, you've owned a couple businesses, you've been in trucking, you've been in bro, not to be a dick, you can learn any one of these products in like a few hours. They're not complicated. You know what I mean? There's YouTube videos, every carrier has training. Whoever you choose to work with in that space, they can give you access to knowledge. The knowledge is the easy part. And like anything, like I believe I could go open and have 8 trucks right now if I wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if I had a guy like you that tell me what to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't know shit about trucking today.
Yeah.
But if I get access to you,
I
don't think it's hard at all.
Absolutely.
And I don't need to know how a truck works. I don't need to know how to change a tire. I don't need to know none of that shit. You know what I mean? So my honest opinion is you're way overthinking it.
Okay.
And there's so many people doing life insurance in the planet. You can't believe they're that much smarter than you.
Yeah, true enough.
You know what I mean? So just dive in, dude. And again, the truckers don't know shit about it. Typically, especially the ones without it.
Yeah.
They don't know shit.
True enough.
So if you understand that the benefits are there, you know more than they do right off the rip. You know what I mean? So I'd have a little more faith in yourself and just add that product mix. And if they're venting to you and if they're coming to you for things already, it's like, yo, talk about the importance of it. And if you can tell a couple stories, whether in your own world where it helped or people you know, or you know what I mean? Like you start to get in the stories of it, it's really easy to navigate the importance of it. And dude, then it becomes like a referral source.
True enough.
You know what I mean? Y'all all talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you become the guy, like Joe's the guy in a lot of ways for that trucking insurance. You become the guy that helps them with their life side too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It becomes this like wheel of just feeding yourself business. You know what I mean? This flywheel.
True enough. Yeah. Joe's definitely, I mean, when I first got into it, I literally Googled trucking insurance and Joe and Cody popped up.
Yeah.
Then shortly after you, and then I watched your video with Chuck McDowell, Andy before Andy was big, for sure. Like, dude, I appreciate the knowledge, and a lot of times I do overthink things. So I mean, I just appreciate it. I'm gonna grasp it. I'm gonna peel back the layers a little bit slower and kind of like get a better idea and just trust myself, I guess.
Hey, you ever go in a pool? Like swimming pool?
Like a swimming pool? Yeah.
You ever see those people that like take 27 minutes to fucking get in? And they get in with their ankles and they're like, ooh, it's chilly. And then you get to your knee and it's cold as shit.
Yeah.
And then you get to your shorts line and it's like, ooh, wee.
Yeah.
Well, what's the alternative?
Yeah. You better just jump in and get it. Just jumping in.
Get it over with, dude.
Yeah.
Instead of dragging that out. I get in a cold plunge most days. Dude, if I drag that thing through, it's a disaster. If I just get in, dude, 2 seconds. I don't even notice the cold anymore. It literally goes away in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's the sneaking in it. That's the hard part. You know what I mean? And leading up to it and thinking it. And I'm like, I've done it enough. I know the cold goes away in 2 seconds. Let me just get in, takes my breath away. And then from there, I sit in that sucker for 10 minutes. It doesn't get colder. You know what I mean? It actually gets warmer in the weirdest way. It's hard to explain if you ain't never done it, but it actually doesn't get cold. It's not cold at all after a few seconds.
I understand the narrative though. I mean, it's kind of like your, I understand the narrative because it's similar to when you were speaking about like the bison going into the storm. You know, the whole idea, the whole point of it is, you know, the least amount of time with the greatest. You know, I mean, I get it. I get it. I don't want to stumble over my words, but I definitely understand.
No. Yeah, if I can help at all in that, I mean, life space is, there ain't nothing I know better than that. So if I can help, hit me up.
Okay, thank you, dude. I appreciate your time.
John,
I do.
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You still taking questions?
Not for you, I will.
Okay. Look, I just wanted to respond. I want you to tell me what you say, and I can tell you, you know, I had a question proposed to me. So an agent said that they were having an influx of initial premiums not drafting. And so, you know, I know that there's something that needs to be tweaked, and I just wanted to get your opinion about that.
My first question would be define an influx of initial premiums not going through.
She said lately her clients' initial premiums have been insufficient.
Define an influx. Give me a number.
Okay. Ooh, I don't know a number. Well, I would just say
because you don't know
over the past, I guess.
Hey, you know what I've learned, Anika?
What?
People go, I've been getting hammered with chargebacks. I'm like, how many you get? I mean, I had 2 this week.
Okay.
But I love you. I've had 7, but I've written 80 policies this month. Who cares?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's no different than when
the number of months.
Oh, dude.
I don't know
yeah,
the number
because
of policies.
No, you don't, because they're typically overwhelming themselves over something that's not that big.
Okay.
And again, you go like, I called my leads today and everyone hung up on me. Define everyone. Like, how many specifically hung up on you?
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, 3. I go like 1, 2, 3. In what world is 3 a big number?
It's not.
7.3 million is a pretty big number in a lot of ways, but 3 ain't that big. You know what I mean? And I can minimize. You've seen me minimize everything on the planet in the time you've been with me. I'm going to make it no big deal. Now, not saying I can't fix something. Does that make sense? There might be something to fix, but the first thing I need to fix is the panic. Does that make sense? You're freezing again, so hopefully you can hear me. I'll just keep talking. And I think it's we're recording this, aren't we? We always record them. I'd be shocked if it ain't, and it'll be out there. So yeah, for me, the first thing I need to fix is the panic. No different than when you go to see a client. I'm gonna talk in-home language because I know it a lot better. But if I show up to a client's house and they open the door, and the dude opens the door, and the first thing I see is his eyes go like, and he's going, "Who the fuck are you?" I know his wife didn't tell him I was coming. I got to diffuse that before I start talking insurance. You know what I mean? I got to get the panic out. I'd be like, "Oh, bro, she didn't tell you, did she?" I've said it 1,000 times. She'd be like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Insurance guy, she didn't tell you I was coming? Is Susan here? We have an appointment. She told me you might." Anyway, and I try to diffuse that. I'll try to like get their guard down. So in this case, what I got to diffuse is panic and worry and belief that it's not normal. You know, so first premium's not going through is normal. Now I'm certainly gonna dive into the why, but I'm gonna do that secondary, because if it's literally she's like, I had 2 this month, I'm like, who? Not to be a dick, who cares? There's nothing there. That happens all the time. But if the number were like, I had 8 this month, maybe there's a conversation. I had 12, maybe there's a conversation. And then for me, what I'm gonna dive into is the first thing that comes to mind is probably post-dated stuff. Tends to happen more there. Sometimes, Anika, I don't know if you hear me yet. Sometimes it's I think of like the agents that use the I'm just seeing if you're eligible close, like that horse shit close.
Yeah,
Agents use that gets first premiums to not go through a lot.
Yeah,
I've seen post dated, and the bullshit I've just seen if you're eligible caused the most of them. So I may dive into that, but for me, I'm going to dive into first the quantity, because it may be a non-issue. You know what I mean? And 90+% of the time, it's a non-issue. And especially if I combine it with lack of work ethic, which is most agents. Does this agent run a shit ton of appointments, or is it barely, like, just trying to get by?
yeah. So I have a question to piggyback on what she's saying.
So look, Michelle, I'm sorry, real quick, John.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, you know my connection been acting stupid
That's
all
all right.
morning.
Hey, we recorded it, so I just kept talking.
You.
So yeah,
Thank
you can go back on.
I was
Amanda will
hoping
send
you
it out.
would.
Yeah, it's recorded. So I went on and on about it. Is this agent like a killer, or are they like mediocre? Do you know, Rochelle? Are you cutting out too?
I don't know.
You don't know? All right. So again, for me, I'll just give the answer. If it's a mediocre agent, a lot of times, Anika, the solution is putting in the work we've talked about putting in that they haven't put in yet. You know what I mean? So if it were a top producer, they probably wouldn't be struggling with that thought process. So there's a few things to navigate.
Well, I could say for me, I don't get a lot, but I do get some. And what I recently identified was that people that don't have bank accounts and they have time or they have Cash App,
it's definitely going to happen more.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen more. And than the person that has an account. And I've now just people that have these, like yesterday, I had a lady, she said that she didn't have a bank account. And I said, well, in this day and age, let's be clear. If you're on fixed income, your money's going somewhere. There's no paper checks being sent and put in your mailbox. Let's be clear. So I'm saying to her, okay, so you're on fixed income, you get a check every month and it's not deposited anywhere.
Yeah.
And then, after the digging in the land of investigations, then she says, well, I do have a Cash App.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. Yeah. So, but the thing about it is what I've learned, and it's really showing more and more is, and I've seen that America don't accept those payments. Now, the question is, what do we do with folks that only have that form?
No, I'll tell you the answer. So it's it's the same answer as I'm going to sell by saying I'm only seeing if you're eligible. If you're going to do that, you got to accept the consequence that comes with it. Everybody, those of y'all that have been with me for years know someone who sold 60 grand a month, 70 grand a month, 80 grand a month in my office using that close. Everyone knows the person. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, you just weren't paying attention. Mm-hmm. She sold a shit ton of insurance. And I would always have to tell her.
That's terrible, though. That's so misleading.
But here's the thing. If you got two options, you either stop it or you accept the consequence from it. Yeah, 40% falls off. Cool, you keep 60. Accept it or cut it out. So in a case of that situation where they don't have bank accounts, if you know more fall off, accept it for what it is, or just start saying no to those clients. I'm a big fan of accepting what it is and just accepting 50% might fall off. And I'll keep the 50% and move on with my life. I just won't let that be a majority of my business. You know what I mean? To me, it's going to be a cherry on top.
Because I've been seeing, and they've been telling me this, and I'd be like, and I got 2 chargebacks, and it was a chime, which I've never wrote for a chime, but it was a chime account. I'm like, and I'm like, okay, I gave you the whole big spill. We went over your income, blah blah blah. Husband work, you want fixed income. So the money was there, and then if the car breaks down, is this something that I always say that if the car breaks down?
Rochelle, you're never going to solve that with this demographic. You're trying to solve the wrong thing. What I'm trying to tell you is the thing you have to solve is your thought process towards it. You think you can make it go away. It's not going to go away. They're 67 years old living on a fucking chime card. It's not going away. That's who they are. So you have to understand your demographic or change your demographic. Does that make sense? So if you're going to make those sales, stop trying to change. Not that you shouldn't say that stuff. You should still say the thing about the car. But you just have to understand they're going to appease you and say, yes, no problem. And then they're going to cancel. That's who the demographic is. Does that make sense? So the piece you need to do is go, all right, I need to make X. Y percent falls off. I need to improve this number. No, I have to pick up this number. I got to get more. You either got to get more of them or more of something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're not it's like the trucker dude. Gas prices went up. What do they got to do? What are their options? Net less money, or get more business to make up for it.
And
That's the
yeah, and that's
options.
how I wasn't.
You
Yeah,
can't,
I've
you,
always
he
been like
can't
this.
go to
Never.
the Middle East and change the gas prices. It's never going
Yeah,
to happen.
yeah.
No matter
Just
what you
you
say,
right.
you're trying to
Yeah.
pull the wrong lever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you have a frustration with it, like you haven't shot, like you're shocked by it.
Yeah.
Like my confusion is why you're still confused about this as
I
long as you've been
know.
doing
And it's
this.
just like, yeah, and I
No,
get it. And I
not
be
no,
like,
no
yeah,
more words. No more words after
I
I know.
got you.
I know. Period.
Just keep
No, I
moving.
not
Just
I
keep
know, but
writing. Keep writing, right? Keep
because
writing.
the but is saying you don't understand it.
Right. I get it.
I know. Cool. Smile on your face, girl. Keep writing.
Keep writing. Keep writing. Keep writing.
You know what I'm saying? And just
Yeah.
don't spend that money as fast as you're spending it if that's going to stay your demographic. You've
Yeah.
got to understand it.
And I have a question. How do we change that demographic?
You target different people. You go after truckers. You go to networking events. You build relationships with people that are rich. You go to hang out with country clubs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you change your demographic. You get referrals
Mm-hmm.
from different people. You start
Mm-hmm.
targeting different people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you could, hey, you think Northwest Mutual is going into fucking trailer homes and taking chime accounts?
Hell no. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Plenty of people out there with different. Now, again, I ain't mad at working that demographic. I like that demographic. I'll pick up $40, $50, $60 checks 8 times a day.
I love it, John. That's my favorite.
Same. I don't want to be chasing the people Northwest Mutual chases. After that, those cats with the suit and tie, they'll piss me off. I can't handle that. You know what I mean? So but I didn't try to change who they were. I changed me to play the game better.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing the game and pretending the rules aren't there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've been doing this a long time. Anika and I've been we've been hanging in there.
Hey, what's the solution? How do you get out of going into trailer homes? Anika, how do we get out of it? You know?
Anika.
She probably,
How
do you know the answer,
Michelle?
How do you get out of it?
Change, we'll change the court, change your demographics, right?
That's one way, but you're still selling that way.
Hey, I mean,
you build a big enough business that you don't have to be in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like
you're more, yeah, that's it.
Sell more, sure, but I didn't want to be a sales guy forever.
Oh yeah, you got to build. That's what you got to build.
Y'all been trying to build this for a long ass time.
Yeah, but you know
what I mean?
You know why, John? You know I was doing.
She keep cutting out. And again, I ain't mad at not building it as quick as I did, but you have choices every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you just got to navigate it. You got to understand demographic and stop being frustrated. Play the game. Again, not that you don't try to get them to stay on the books. You do give it a shot, but you can't get emotionally attached as much as you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This is what it is. Move on. You spend all day long trying to get Susan to refill her chime account. I'm like, yo, you could book 4 more appointments. Who gives a shit?
You remember I was doing it.
Makes sense? Yeah. I got time for one more. Who has a question? Anybody else?
Hey, John. It's Joe.
Joe, what's up?
Hey, how you been?
Amazing, dude.
Awesome. I appreciate you and I appreciate your shares and the posts and everything you do in the insurance game. I love how you connected with Cody and that whole team. I do have a question. So my thing is I started insurance about like 4 years ago, but I was a captive agent with a big name, one of the big guys. And then I hit a ceiling. So then I decided to go independent and I tried some of the independent companies and whatnot. Not that I got burned by any of them or anything. I mean, there was one, but it was like I think John was talking about earlier or the gentleman before him about bringing people on that you trust and then they turn around and they burn you. I didn't let that bother me. It did bug me a little bit, but I got over it. Yeah. My question simply is, how do I go back? Because now I'm back being captive. I know I can do independent. My thing is, yes, okay, I need to buy leads. I need to grow my pockets. Let me put it that way. How can I earn my way back to going independent?
And Anika, is that you that's unmuted? Oh, I can mute her. Never mind. So you're asking, how do you go back independent? Or are you asking, how do you go back independent and you got no money?
That one. That specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm over here because I figured I'd be here for 6 months to a year because they want to build me up into an agent. That's what gave me my wings in the first place and the belief in myself.
How wide open is your schedule and willingness to work?
I'm willing to work. Openness on the schedule. I'm actually working out of state. That's the other thing. So if I can telesell, which I'm doing, and I've had a sell not as consistent as I used to because I'm learning the whole system again because they've updated it, but I'm doing pretty good.
What's pretty good? Define that for me.
Every other day, I'll have at least a minimum of at least one auto because I'm doing property, casualty, life, and health.
Okay, cool. What kind of money do you need to make to not feel like you're broke?
At least I would say, in my opinion, just to start out, which was my goal, being independent, $1,000 a week. Okay. I know that's small numbers, but it's just to start out to believe in yourself, and not everyone has a silver spoon or mom and dad.
No shit. I didn't have 2 cents when I started. So you're not making $1,000 a week right now doing what you're doing.
No.
Do you have any other obligations that you can't work basically every day? Like anything major I need to know about, or is it just normal everyday shit?
No, it's just cool. That.
Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone?
Yeah. I've tried door knocking too, and I did get some leads with the company carrier, and all the leads that they provided me, they gave me 20. Either the person didn't live there or we got thrown out.
That's okay. Wait, how many doors did you knock
on? The 20 that they gave us, like, here, start with these. These are good leads. And then after that, it was, yeah.
Okay. So that's, can I be super honest?
Go for it.
Yeah, that's not a big number at all to have results. You know what I mean? Like this game is the law of large numbers. If you weren't broke, I'd give you a different answer. But your answer right now is going to be get out of your house and go see people. And you don't need leads to go see people. Leads are just people with families. Do you know what percentage of people don't have insurance? Life insurance specifically?
No.
Stats are about half. And some obnoxious number don't have enough, quote unquote, like 75%, whatever the number, you can Google it. It's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So meaning if you went to an apartment complex, statistically, every other door is not going to have insurance at all. We got a guy in our group named Jorge.
Yeah,
he knocks
I follow him.
Do you see what he does?
Yeah, he knocks.
Follow him on social. He knocks every fucking day, and he makes sales every day. He issued $350,000 last year with no leads, knocking on doors cold. $350K, knocking on apartment complex doors, going, "Hey, my name's Jorge. Do you need life insurance? Hey, my name's Jorge. Do you need life insurance? Hey, my name's Jorge. Do you need life insurance?" 100 a day. So my challenge to you would be, if you ain't got no money, take an Uber to an apartment complex and knock on doors and go, "Hey, my name's Joe. Do you need help with life insurance? Hey, my name's Joe. Do you need help with life insurance?" 100 times a day. If you have to do that, you know, that you can make. I had a girl do this about a month ago. It's actually on my YouTube. We released a video of it a few days ago. Mm-hmm. She needed some money. I had her go knock around my complex, my office complex. She picked up a lead, made a sale, small, $25 a month, nothing big, couple $100, whatever. I then challenged her to go out and start knocking on doors, and she had some old leads. So I was like, go follow up with all your old leads that told you no on the phone. She was struggling on the phone. So go knock on their doors. And then on each lead you knock on at least 4 neighbors' doors. And go, "Hey, I was just working with Susan over there with some life insurance. Do you happen to need any help with life insurance?" That's it. Dude, first day out, lead told her to fuck off. Neighbor across the street, $300 a month. First day doing it. You know what I mean? So like to make $1,000, dude, it's one app in the life space. I don't know the PNC commissions. I know they're low and they're small and you got to build them up over time. I know they're very different. So I don't know the numbers to give. But again, even if you take apartment complexes out and you're like, that sucks. Cool. Why don't you go knock on life insurance agencies and partner with them to do their PNC, and knock on PNC agency doors and partner with them to do their life insurance, and go to networking meetings that are free. You can Google networking meetings near me. You'll find 50 somewhere in your neighborhood, in the ballpark of where you live, especially if you're anywhere near a metro area. You'll find 50 networking meetings. Go to BNI groups, go to speaking groups, go to literally coffee and lunch groups, shit like that. There's a million options. They're free. They're literally free that you can show up to. Like, "Hey, my name's Joe. I do life insurance. I do PNC. And if you prospect day in and day out, you will get business. And what I always say is take a guy like, are you familiar with Primerica?
Yeah.
You know the guy that built that?
I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah. A.L. Williams. And he was a high school basketball coach. He built that. I don't know the exact year, but it was a long ass fucking time ago, 60s, 70s, whatever it was. No technology whatsoever. Leads weren't a thing. The internet wasn't here. Cell phone, they didn't have them. And he built a multi-billion-dollar company by working out in his community and generating his own leads. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna talk about this at 8% this week. Think about way old school. I think I watched this documentary. It's called I think it's like Built in America or American Built or something like that. And it goes over like Andrew Carnegie and the Rockefellers. Dude, do you think they had leads? You know what I mean?
No.
You think you think they sat around waiting for fucking Zuckerberg to create Facebook so they could get leads?
True. No.
Nah, man, they went out there in the community and they built relationships and they sold shit. You know what I mean? So you can't be afraid to do that. You can't be just a lead junkie. You know what I mean? And only sit around. Now, if you have, I love leads. I'm your guy. You want to fucking abuse leads and sell a bunch of insurance. I'm your guy. But when you ain't got money, dude, I was out working the streets, bro. I was knocking on doors every day. Every day after work, I was banging doors. I was working age leads. I was working leads with no leads, data, like just names and number. You know what I mean? I was out there working. And the goal is when you get money to reinvest it back in quick to leads if you don't want to do the networking game and prospecting game. If you want to be a lead junkie, cool. Go make some money the hard way. Dude, I see people out there on the side of the road. You all see them. They hold a sign up by the side of the interstate. I need help. Please give me money. Dude, they make a fucking $1,000 a week.
Chase.
You know what I mean?
Call your leads.
I'm just saying, dude, it ain't that hard to make $1,000 a week. It's only hard when you think you can't do it and when you don't get out there and prospect. Your game should be prospecting right now. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times a week until you get that money. You know what I'm saying? And it don't take long, dude. It don't take long to get a few yeses in a week. You get a few yeses in the week in life space, you make a few G's. You can invest that back in. You know what I mean? So it's going to take hard work right now. So you're just going to have to get out of your house, put your shoes on, get out in the community. You know what I mean? Car, walk, Uber, it don't matter. Because the alternative is whatever it is for you. You know, if you don't make this work, you got to go back to doing something that you probably don't want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was doing Spark and Uber Eats.
Yeah.
I would leave my business card in there, though. The callback rate was low.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds a week, dude. 20 a week ain't going to cut it. I'm telling you, Jorge, dude, 100 doors a day, bro. 100 doors a day. You know what I mean? Make it happen.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Don't need anything, let me know. I got to roll. Y'all have a good one. Oh, hey, the next one, we'll see it. 8/1 in my office. We're having a in-person event. And then August 14th is this next one. We're doing this one. It'll be on the website and email and shit like that. So if I can help, y'all let me know. Later.